Welcome to the Lead Journal, where we bring you real conversations with change makers shaping the world. I'm your host, Jafar Abbas, and today we are joined by someone whose work spans continents, crises, and communities, Tarana Faruqi. She's a migration and international development professional based in Brussels. She's worked with UN agencies, international NGOs, and grassroots initiatives across India and Europe. From supporting Afghan and Rohingya refugees to advocating for human rights and amplifying the voices of marginalized groups, Tarana brings not only experience but deep empathy and vision to her work. In this episode, we'll talk about what inspired her to enter this field and stories that shaped her along the way, and the power of staying hopeful in the face of injustice. Let's dive in. All right, we are rolling. Again, thanks so much for being here. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Um, I have to say your journey really stood out to me from starting off in New Delhi, studying in Geneva, and working across continents. It's really inspiring. You have had such a powerful journey. So, what inspired you at the age of 16 to step into the world of, diplomacy and development?
Thank you, Jafar. Thank you for having me. I'm always happy
Yeah.
to share my story or try to give inspiration to people. I don't know, I'm not a big legend or anything, but I feel like it's always good to share your thoughts and experiences. So, thank you so much, firstly, for having me.
Sure.
What inspired me or what started my journey was purely accidental, right? To give you context, in school, before 15, 16, like, 7th, 8th grade, I was not a very confident girl. I was, let's say, one of the millions in a school, right? Average
Yeah.
kid doing decently. ठीक है, good kid, though कहते हैं ना क्या कहते हैं टीचर्स पेट किताबी कीड़ा बच्चा, right? Like the people are, you're on good terms, but that's all. And I started doing Model United Nations, Model UNs. That's where I think I gained confidence of speaking in front of thousands of people. I got exposure to so many things. I was fortunate that I went to Germany from my school on a student exchange program for Model UN. And you can imagine, right, as a 10th, 11th, 10th grade girl going abroad, my mind opened up, the
Huge
world
deal.
opened up, right?
Yeah.
And we were staying in host families, basically local Stuttgart German residence houses we were staying. We were not staying in a hotel or a hostel. So I think if I look back, that's the starting phase of where I really this world of diplomacy, foreign affairs, development, social policy opened up for me because I started reading all these things. I
Yeah.
developed a passion for it, which continued, and which is why I pursued humanities in school. I changed my school, and मुझे वो भी था थोड़ा math phobia. I had to run away from maths in some ways or the other.
Yes, I
So
was looking at your LinkedIn post and I
you
read
did,
that. Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so, but yeah, I think I would have still done this, to be honest, with or without maths. Engineering karti tabhi bhi, I think I would have probably done the same job. So I don't think it would be a different job. But back in the day, matlab 2009, 10, 11, to pursue humanities or to take up this path was not conventional,
yeah,
and it is still like the more not the most secure and unconventional sort of conventional path in our country, if you think of it, right?
definitely,
Like
definitely.
our parents aspire our kids to be teacher, doctor, engineer, IAS, lawyer. That's it. Let's be honest, right? Like
Yeah,
such
yes,
भी है.
yes. No
है
one
ना
can
MBA,
deny in India that because
है ना
even,
MBA कर लो बेटा लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी वाला thing, right? Which
yes,
is correct in a way. I don't deny that because I mean I feel like you should do what your heart tells you,
yeah,
and I had parents who were really supportive, and that I think that's what kind of led my journey because I used to read a lot. I mean, I was one of those kids who read Das Kapital and Karl Marx and all at 16, 17. कौन पढ़ता है, right? किसको समझ आती
Yes.
हैं चीजें? So I was that person. And reading really, I think, opened my world. Model UN's opened my world, which continued in college as well. And I went to Lady Shri Ram College for Women, and being a top tier college in our country, I think also was a lot of pressure. It
Yeah.
was not the easiest place to be in, and you can ask anybody who went to my college. It's a wonderful space. It's a great space to be, to learn, to do so many things. There's so much extracurricular activities. कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है कॉलेज में, like fun
Uh,
भी है, मस्ती भी है, bunk भी मारते हैं, ऐसा भी नहीं है, but still, like if I look back, it's a great space to be, and that again opened up my world, right? And I was like, यार ये भी कोई प्रोफेशन है, यूएन में भी काम कर सकते हैं, ये भी एक ऑप्शन होता है, और धीरे धीरे आई फिगर्ड आउट हाउ टू enter that world. So I did journalism because I was good at writing and reading, and I was a good communicator. Uh,
yeah.
then I did my diploma in conflict transformation and peace building at LSR itself, which was, again, to be honest, the best decision to make because A, उसे masters के admissions हो गए, abroad वरना नहीं हो पाता.
Uh,
And because your CVP, you have to, kind of give brownie points in your CV, right? So
uh,
that, and I think I really got into the world of foreign affairs and everything in and around it, right? Matlab, another factor was because of my family background coming from academics and authors and scholars. I think conversations around Israel Palestine or conversations about caste system in India were very normal at my home, and it was a regular conversation, और अभी भी होता है, like these are very regular conversations at home. So for me this was a very logical thing to do, और पसंद था, मजा आ रहा था, right? और इन भाव भी
yeah.
मिल रहा था एक तरह से and
It,
you're doing well, so you're happy about it. And then that's how I think my journey started. I started doing a lot of volunteer things in college. I volunteered with a lot of NGOs, did a lot of internships. That's where I gained experience of the working world and started earning a money little bit. I was having a pocket money, so not really depending on my parents. And yeah, that's where everything started. And then I went for my master's to Geneva at the Graduate Institute.
usually, मतलब कि these topics are like a taboo in our society and things. So, and the thing that which stood out to me, like, so because a lot of us are into being an engineer and doctor, you should be this, you should be that. We don't try what we want to do, what our heart tells us to do. So that's because for me, even that, because first I was doing job, then I left it because something was not connecting, something was not didn't feel right. So also you mentioned about UN model, right? So even a lot of us don't have much idea about UN model. I have a little bit idea. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Sure, I'll be happy to because that's what I
Yeah.
did half my life. So,
Yes.
Model United Nations is basically the simulation of the United Nations for school and college kids. So, basically, in a very simple, saral bhasha, is basically the United Nations and its organizations and committees for school college students. Basically, you will have three students or three people as chairs, vice chairs, and rapporteurs who are facilitating that, and it's a competition. So you are representing a country,
Okay.
you are given a topic, and you will research on it, you will talk about it, and at the end of the day, you will come up with a resolution. And you are basically representing that country. So basically, it's a mock
Okay.
session, and it's great because you learn a lot of things like teamwork, negotiation, diplomacy, research, and public speaking also, right? Like today, if
Yeah.
somebody tells me कि तराना एक speech देनी है 100 लोगों के सामने, I can say it. I'm not fearing that, which I think was a great learning for soft skills also and hard skills also.
Yeah.
And but you're right, Jafar. A lot of students and young people don't have access to these things. पता नहीं होता हम लोगों को, right? I was
Yeah.
in Delhi, and I went to a school called Amity International School and a school called Sardar Patel, where these things were very common, right? So through Model UN only I went to Germany. Through Model UN only I went to Rome in 2014 from college. तो
Yeah.
मेरी दुनिया खुल गई ना एक तरह से।
हाँ.
तो दैट वाज द एडवांटेज एंड प्रिविलेज था ना, if I think of
Yeah.
it. And I really value that privilege because I mean yes, because my parents were working, and because of the fact that I mean I was in a city like Delhi, I was aware about these things. In a lot of two tier, three tier cities, it's not so common, right?
Yeah.
But I
हाँ.
and you're right, like हमारे देश में unfortunately these are called unconventional career paths, और इसमें बहुत हिम्मत लगती है, like it's not easy. I was bullied in school, and there were phases where I was really upset on things, right? But I think those things make you a
Yeah.
stronger person, or a, you know, if I look back and now I can talk about it publicly in a podcast or anywhere. But these
Yeah.
things are really not easy things to do, और अभी भी नहीं है, मतलब अब थोड़ा change हो गया है trend. I feel little better, I would say. Parents do support their children in what they want to do and follow their heart, because ultimately parents want the kids to be happy, right?
ये
एंड वही करना चाहिए जो जो तुम्हारा दिल बोलता है, राइट? वो दैट्स द मैसेज दैट
हाँ.
आई कीप टेलिंग पीपल. इट्स नॉट इजी, राइट? आई मीन आई डोंट डू अ 9 to 5 जॉब, आई डोंट हैव अ मिलियंस एंड मिलियंस ऑफ मनी, करोड़ करोड़ नहीं है मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में ऑनेस्टली, और अभी तो बिल्कुल नहीं है बिकॉज सिंस आई मूव्ड हियर तो मेरे सारे पैसे चले गए. बट
Yeah.
नहीं यार, मतलब आई डोंट इवन रिग्रेट दिस डिसीजन. लाइक बैक देन स्कूल टीचर्स यूज्ड टू से बेटा साइंस ले लो, बाद में ह्यूमैनिटीज कर लेना कॉलेज में, कोई बात नहीं,
हाँ.
यू नो,
ये
ऑप्शन
तो
बढ़
बहुत
जाएंगे, है ना?
ये तो एक बहुत कॉमन सी चीज है कि पहले तुम
है
साइंस ले
ना?
लो, उसके बाद फिर जो करना है करो. फिर
वो
एक बार
करना होगा.
बंदा साइंस में चला जाता है तो वो वहीं पे ही रह जाता है.
हाँ.
फिर एक नीट बच जाता है, एक आईटी बच जाता है, फिर
या
आईआईटी बच
या
जाता है. ये
Believe me,
वही
Jafar,
ऑप्शंस
like,
होते हैं.
sorry, I'm cutting you, but like on my LinkedIn and on emails, a lot of people reach out to me and say कि हमें change कैसे हम करें अपना career path? How do we get into this world? Because हमने 5-6 साल KPMG, EY ये सब में नौकरी करी है, and we've done hardcore MBA and finance and those kind of things, which are great. I mean, I don't discourage that. जिसको करना है करो यार, मतलब कोई वो नहीं है. But उस वर्ल्ड से इस वर्ल्ड में आने में भी मुश्किल है, राइट? और इस वर्ल्ड से उस वर्ल्ड
या
में भी जाना इज नॉट इजी, राइट? सो आई कम अक्रॉस अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल एवरी फ्यू डेज, कोई ना कोई लिंक्डइन पे या कहीं ना कहीं मैसेज करता है मेरे को कि तराना आई नीड हेल्प एंड कैन यू प्लीज टेल अस व्हाट टू डू, ये वो. मुझे मुझे आई एम स्ट्रगलिंग, आई हेट माई जॉब, I hate the course that I'm doing. I got into IIT, I got into IIM because of parents, because of peer pressure. And these are the best places in the country, right? मतलब कहाँ was admission, but
सही बात
people
है.
are struggling. No, so many young kids are
मुझे
not happy, you know.
मुझे जब मैं भी कुछ टाइम दिल्ली में रहा था, मुझे एक चीज़ मुझे बहुत अफसोस आई देख के कि मतलब कि जब मैं जैसे मेट्रो में ट्रैवल करता हूँ तो मैंने
हम्म.
देखा सब मतलब कि मोबाइल चला रहे हैं, और कोई सबका सर झुका हुआ है, कोई मतलब
हम्म.
कि इतना सब मतलब कि एनर्जी पूरी ख़त्म हो गई है कोई. और मतलब कि बहुत देख के मुझे थोड़ा सा अफसोस हुआ कि हम लोग की एनर्जी ख़त्म हो गई है कि कुछ नया सोचने की, कुछ नया ट्राई
और
करने
क्या?
की.
Yeah.
सब हम लोग बस स्क्रॉल करते हैं और इंस्टाग्राम पे, और कुछ नया ट्राई करने का अब वो नहीं बची है. मतलब कि ये सब स्पेशली मैंने थोड़ा सा, सॉरी अगर कोई दिल्ली से देख रहा है, लेकिन ये मेरा
कोई बात
पर्सनल व्यू है
नहीं, ये
कि
सच्चाई है.
बहुत मेट्रो में देखो तो सब कोई गाना सुन रहा है और कोई रील चला रहा है, तो थोड़ा सा अफसोस होता है देख के ये सब.
But
कोई
I,
ट्राई नहीं
sorry,
करता.
I'm cutting you. लेकिन it's also a generational problem, I feel. Like I am now 30, right? So I feel like when I was in college or when we were younger, ठीक है, तब भी सोशल मीडिया था, तब भी फोन्स थे, बट
हम्म.
थिंग्स वर वेरी डिफरेंट. व्हेन आई सी माय यंगर nieces एंड nephews एंड आई सी अदर पीपल इन माय फैमिली, वो बस फोन पे ही लगे रहते हैं पूरा दिन, और पता नहीं क्या देखते रहते हैं, मुझे तो आज तक समझ नहीं आया है. और ये
हाँ.
जेन जी मुझे समझ नहीं आई है ना, मुझे जानना है. एंड इट रियली स्कैर्स मी बिकॉज मेरे बच्चे उसके बाद वाली जनरेशन होंगे, तो पता नहीं क्या
हाँ.
होंगे, राइट? मेरे और मेरे हस्बैंड में जोक चलता रहता है कि पता नहीं व्हाट विल बी द आउटकम, प्लस आवर किड्स विल बी लिविंग अब्रॉड, सो इट माइट बी द वर्स्ट कॉम्बिनेशन एवर.
एआई
बट
भी तो आ गया है.
वही तो,
एआई.
I don't understand AI as well. Let's be honest. I don't mind saying this on a public platform. I don't understand AI. I'll understand maybe in a few months or a few years. But it's a generational problem. It's not just in Delhi. आपने दिल्ली में देखा है, but it happens everywhere. It really happens everywhere. the capacity of reading, कुछ नया करने का, the capacity of critically analyzing something, the
Yeah.
idea of questioning something, the idea of advocating for something is gone. And it's
हाँ
sad because I don't know ये बच्चे क्या करेंगे आगे जाके,
हाँ ये
you know.
तो सो लाइक आई अगर हम लोग वैसे अगर वापस उस ट्रैक पे जाते हैं तो जो मुझे याद है आई रिमेम्बर दैट यू वेंट टू जेनेवा एंड इट
Right.
चेंज योर पर्सपेक्टिव बाय अ लॉट सो हाउ डिड इट अफेक्ट योर perspective on international affairs, like what happened there, and you know.
Sure. I think going to the Graduate Institute was a big honor because it's not easy place to get admission. And as a 21, 22-year old, not 22, I mean, young person fresh out of college, I think it was the most liberating space. मतलब मैं दिल्ली से पहली बार बाहर गई हूँ पढ़ने, right? पहली बार बाहर गई हूँ रहने के लिए, right?
Yeah.
So it really opened my mind. It really opened a big world to me. And I literally grocery shopping करते करते कोई ना कोई हाई कमिश्नर डिप्लोमेट फॉरेन सर्विसेज वाले लोग मिल जाते थे. एंड मुझे तो एम्बैरेसिंग लगता था शुरू में कि शिट है मैं तो पजामा पहन के आई हूँ. यू नो आई एम you know it was
Yes,
really
yes.
like that, but it really opened my world, number one. एंड एक्सपोजर बहुत मिला, सीखने को बहुत कुछ मिला, जाहिर सी बात है जो इंडिया में अनफॉर्चुनेटली बेस्ट टॉप टियर यूनिवर्सिटीज भी नहीं दे पाते हैं, राइट.
हाँ.
सो लर्निंग, एक्सपोजर, प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज, ग्रेट. बट देर इज आई ऑल्सो लर्न अ लॉट अबाउट माई सेल्फ. एंड अकेले सब कुछ करना था, खाना बनाना, बर्तन धोना, सब कुछ, राइट. घर पे प्रिविलेज होता है रहने का, मेड्स
हाँ.
होती है, कहाँ होता है यूरोप में, राइट. एंड द वैल्यू
हाँ.
ऑफ मनी. I think I really learned these things. Jo, I'm still
Yes.
struggling, to be honest, with all these questions, even at 30. But I really learned a lot of things which I would have probably never got. And I think it really, I mean, I keep thanking Allah that I got that opportunity. And at the same time, I faced discrimination also. इतना कोई happy, rosy, rosy कहानी नहीं है because of the fact that I'm an Indian, I'm a
Yeah.
female, I'm a Muslim, and I'm a foreigner, right? वहाँ की जॉब मार्केट क्यों लेगी मेरे को? And there is discrimination everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, right? Racism है, and we have to admit it. I mean, touchwood, things worked for me, and I got a good job. I moved to The Hague and everything else, right? But even then, like opportunities नहीं मिलती हैं यार. क्योंकि आप foreigner हो, आप Indian हो, आप white skin नहीं हो.
हाँ.
You might speak the best English, you might have the best marks, you might be the top kid in your college, right? If you statistically read and see the number of, especially in this field where I come from, right? Especially, it's even more challenging. And there are so many barriers to enter into the UN system only. मतलब अगर आप
Prejudice.
एवरेज एनी यूएन का वैकेंसी देखो, एवरेज सेज यू नीड टू हैव 5 years of experience, 3 years of experience. वो सिर्फ
Yeah.
नाम के लिए होता है, एंड रियलिटी में दे नीड समबडी वे अबव दैट. ओके.
हाँ.
एंड इट आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई. और एंट्री लेवल पोजीशंस होती ही नहीं है. सो इट वाज रियली अ बिग चैलेंज फॉर मी, बट एट द सेम टाइम आई थिंक आई वाज ओपन कि यार अगर इंडिया वापस जाना पड़े, आई विल गो, इट्स ओके. But I don't want to take
हाँ.
money from my parents. I don't want to cause any stress to anybody. And I also had phases of being, first few months जो adjustment phase होता है, I was also
Yeah.
struggling, right? Like I was upset, I missed home, and there was a lot of frustration, lot of anxiety. But it's normal. आप कोई भी student से पूछो जो इंडिया के बाहर जाता है पढ़ने के लिए, तो मतलब दिल पे लग जाती है यार. यू ऑल ईट द बेस्ट ऑफ द फूड, घर पे बैठे हो, मम्मी खिला रही है, स्विगी है, जोमेटो है, यहाँ कुछ नहीं है.
हाँ.
राइट.
हाँ,
तो
ये तो है.
है ना.
मेरी बहन भी बाहर है, वो भी
हाँ,
मतलब
ओके.
लंदन में है. तो वो भी वही बताती है कि मतलब कि घर की बात अलग होती ही है. वो
हाँ,
खाना जो
घर
मिलता है
घर
वो भी
है.
अलग होता है. मैं भी चंडीगढ़ में अकेला ही रह रहा हूँ, मुझे भी जब बर्तन धोना
अच्छा,
पड़ता है जब तो फिर पता चलता है कि
मैं भी
क्या
बर्तन धो के
इश्यूज
आ रही हूँ बाय द वे.
ये इश्यूज होते हैं बहुत.
Yeah. And one thing, another thing, sorry I'm cutting you, but
क्या.
everyday issues एक होते हैं. Also the sense कि आप दूर हो घर से, आप हर दूसरा family function miss करते हो. You miss your friends' birthday parties. You see it on social media, but you can't go, right? एंड
Yeah.
वन वे टिकट कमिंग अब्रॉड लेना बहुत मुश्किल होता है यार. इट टुक मी फॉर एग्जांपल 7.5 years to do that, right? And I was fortunate. I
Hmm.
got married to somebody. I came here, everything else, but still, you know, I knew I want to come back abroad for a reason. But otherwise मैं इंडिया में बहुत खुश थी, मुझे कोई कंप्लेन नहीं है. और अब मैं और
Yeah.
वैल्यू करती हूँ, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, लाइक द मोस्ट स्मॉलेस्ट things I really value, and I feel like यार मतलब सब तो है यहाँ पे, क्या दिक्कत है? If you are, let's say, an upper middle class person or somebody with a educational degree, you have everything. क्या दिक्कत है?
Yeah.
तुमको रहो आराम से, you know. Again, if you have the privileges and perks. And my mother
Yeah.
and I used to keep, you know, having this banter and conversations when I was in India, staying with my parents. Is she used to say कि कोई बात नहीं बेटा, अगर नहीं जा पाओ बाहर, कोई बात नहीं, यहाँ है सब कुछ, हम हैं, तुम्हारा भाई है. I have a younger brother who's doing filmmaking in Bombay. सब लोग हैं, ठीक है. इफ अल्लाह ने बोला तुम जाओगी बाहर, नहीं होगा तो नहीं होगा, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. एंड दैट ऑल्सो रियली मेड मी फील कि हाँ यार, ग्रास इज ग्रीनर ऑन द अदर साइड. बट ठीक है, किस्मत में लिखा है तो होगा, नहीं होगा तो नहीं होगा, कोई बात नहीं, यू नो.
हाँ, ये ओपन माइंड रखना ज़रूरी होता है। अगर नहीं होगा तो कोई इशू नहीं है। मतलब कि कुछ लोग बहुत ज़्यादा
हम्म.
डिप्रेस हो जाते हैं कि नहीं हो
वही
पाया
एग्जैक्टली.
मैं, और एकदम बहुत ज़्यादा डिप्रेस हो जाते हैं। लेकिन कुछ चीज़ें हम लोग के लिए वो पाथ नहीं थे। हम लोग को मे बी लाइफ कुछ और बताना चाह रही है कि हम लोग को दूसरे पाथ पे जाना है। तो अब वो भी है। तो जो आप मतलब कि व्हेन यू वेंट टू जेनेवा, हिंदी में आ जाता हूँ। सो
कोई
व्हेन
बात
यू
नहीं,
वेंट,
व्हाटएवर वर्क्स फॉर यू, आई मीन.
yeah, so you went to Geneva, so like was there a story of, like, about someone whose life was changed positively through your work in Geneva, or maybe like I also remember you taught some children in, I forgot the name of the country. So you remember, right? So can you
Of
tell
course,
about
I'll
that?
elaborate for sure. So I can tell you two instances maybe, I think, which still resonate with me. It's still very fresh in my memory. So 2017, when I was in Geneva doing my masters, my university had a mentorship program whereby I was a part of the human rights committee. हमारे यहाँ अलग-अलग जो societies होती हैं, right, in college. So one of them was on human rights. I was an active member for that. And there was one called the migration committee, which again I was migration initiative, which I was a part of.
Yeah.
So again, because as you can see clearly, right, my interest was in these areas, right? Um, so when I was there, we had something called a language exchange program, whereby आपको you are assigned one refugee who's living there in Geneva to teach English, and you can in return learn their language, or you can teach French or Dutch or German, whatever language you know, and you learn their language. You spend once in a week, twice in a week time with that person. That person will come to your university, like with the hostel where you were staying, or you can arrange a common place where you can, you know, work and study together. It was, trust me,
Okay.
Jafar, the most beautiful experience of my life. The girl's name is Ramin. I don't know
Yeah.
if she'll listen to this podcast or not. She was a
Yeah.
Syrian refugee who had just come. मतलब her family was there already. Some of her family members were in Germany. She had moved maybe a few months ago to Geneva because of the resettlement process, in the sense कि उसकी family को यहाँ पे resettlement मिला था. And I'll explain what resettlement is later if you want, because that's also related to my second story.
Yeah.
So I used to have a language exchange with her. I used to teach her English, and you know, I learned Arabic from her. So it
Okay.
was the most beautiful experience. I remember first day I met her, she was probably my age, एक दो साल आगे पीछे. And I met her, I shook hands. She didn't have fingers. Yeah. She had only two fingers or three fingers. And I had to be sensitive to the fact that she's a refugee coming from Syria, right?
Yeah.
So first or the second time I didn't ask her. Obviously, I mean, it's a very touchy topic, right?
Yeah.
But one day she herself opened up and told me, ये तो bomb blast में हुआ था back then in their home city. And I was like, God, ये मतलब she's not able to write because
Yeah.
of this, you know. as basic as
Li-
writing, holding
so,
a knife, fork or a spoon, something so simple, right? And
okay.
that instance really like kept with me, and we used to have many kids like that. Not kids, it could be an adult, it could be a child, anybody jo wahan pe basically was staying in Geneva, they could get enrolled in this program. That was an amazing experience.
Where is she now? Like, you mentioned some
I think
those
she's still in
finger. Yeah.
Geneva. I think she's still in Geneva. I haven't spoken to her in a couple of years, but I think she's still there. Yeah.
So, like, what's next for you, like in professional world? So, is there any thing you are thinking of, or you are continuing the work in this field, or something like that?
A couple of
What?
ideas, to be honest. I don't want to publicly say because I don't know what will happen. And I sometimes believe in the concept of jinxing क्योंकि बुरी नजर लग जाती है और मुझे
Yeah.
बहुत जल्दी लग जाती है. So that's
Uh,
what. But of course, I'm happy to share what's next for me. So I just moved to Brussels a month ago. So I am still adapting here and kind of adjusting in this new European life that I have. So I'm kind of on a break since March, in that sense, but I'm trying to be engaged in something or the other, being a part of initiatives here, projects here. कुछ ना कुछ मैं करती रहती हूँ because घर पे तो शांति से बैठा नहीं जाता है. Because I'm
hmm.
always, I want to do something, right? And to help
Yeah.
people, I really want to do a lot of things. So, I mean, the goal at maybe 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line is to start my own NGO or to start my own organization. That's the goal. But currently,
Okay.
though I'm job hunting, I'm looking for opportunities because, as I said, I just moved here. So
Yeah.
whoever is listening to me, please hire me. You've heard my podcast, so you might think I'm suitable candidate. But
Yes.
no, I mean I'm just on a break because I've been working for so long, right? Since my
Hmm.
college days till now. So I'm now focusing on other aspects of my life and personal space and just enjoying the city, enjoying the country that I'm in, and being thankful to it. Doing a couple of courses, a couple of certifications also to upscale myself. तो अलग अलग चीजें करती रहती हूँ मैं, राइट. बट द लार्जर गोल इन लाइफ अगर मैं देखूँ, मतलब लार्जर एम्बिशन which I'm chasing at some point is to start my own organization, which is not easy at all, which is I
Ah.
really don't know how, what, where, when मैं कहाँ करूँगी. And I keep sharing this idea with a couple of my colleagues and friends and people that I've met in this journey, who I have felt a sync with, and they have had a lovely experience working with me. तो
Yeah.
आई कीप शेयरिंग कि यार हम ऐसे कर सकते हैं, वैसे कर सकते हैं, कुछ ना कुछ आइडियाज तो
Hmm.
दिमाग में चलते रहते हैं, राइट. सो दैट्स द गोल. लेट्स सी हाउ, व्हाट, वेयर, व्हेन. आई ऑनेस्टली डोंट नो. पैसा भी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. आई हैव नो नेम टू इट, नथिंग. बट लेट्स सी.
गोल होना चाहिए.
किस्मत.
गोल
हाँ,
गोल
वो
होना
है
चाहिए.
वही कि
I mean,
गोल वो है. अब कैसे है वो नहीं पता, बट आई स्टिल वांट टू वर्क in an organization for the next few years because I want to gain experience in the European work environment as well, right? So
yeah.
I want to contribute to organizations here also, and जो मेरा experience India का है, I want to bring here, right?
Huh.
And try to kind of bridge the gap between the global south and the global north. I know one person like me cannot do it. एक इंसान से नहीं होता. It takes a village to do that, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, I want the voices of voiceless people to be heard, right? I want
Huh.
that to happen. That's my goal. But कैसे होता है पता नहीं. I can just keep my fingers crossed and work hard, and that's it, I
लाइफ
think. और कुछ नहीं हो
लाइफ
सकता.
लाइफ लाइफ तो वही है कि मतलब वी डोंट नो व्हाट्स गोइंग टू हैपन नेक्स्ट. वी जस्ट क्रॉस आवर फिंगर्स एंड say let's go, we'll see what's next. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's the beauty of life, because we don't know, so it makes it exciting but also scary as well.
It
So
is very scary. Like, think of it. I came back to Europe after 7 years, right? And I didn't know I'll come to Brussels, right? But God had it planned for me. I found the love of my life and I got married. वो filmy story हो गया. So, but I'm fortunate, right? To have a loving, supportive family, in-laws and husband who are a part of this journey for me. So I think जो किस्मत में लिखा होता ही है. Life comes to you, it hits you. You hate it sometimes, but you love it sometimes as well, and you should.
लाइफ तो अपना रास्ता ढूंढ अपने आप पे. वी शुड बिलीव इन आवरसेल्व्स, यू नो. फिर
हाँ
लाइफ
वही
विल
वही.
फाइंड इट्स वे.
या
उसमें
या
कोई नहीं रोकेगा.
या.
Is so is there anything else like you would share at the end of this podcast? Do you want to say something or maybe some advice or anything?
I would say that never stop dreaming, never stop believing in yourself.
Yeah.
क्योंकि I have also gone through phase of self doubt and questioning मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, is it the right thing, is it not, we all do that, right? Whether you're at
Yeah.
20, whether you're at 45, whether you're a parent, whether you are the CEO of the biggest company of the world, right? I think you always have a downfall. You always
Hmm.
have phases where अच्छा नहीं चल रहा होता है, right? आप if a friend asks you what's up, क्या चल रहा है, क्या हाल चाल, नहीं यार कुछ नहीं, वही बेकार
Uh,
जिंदगी, वही नौकरी है, यही है, वो है, घिसा पिटा ये वो. But
uh,
I think मेरे personal experience में I would say that these negative phases or these difficult phases or struggles make you a better person or a stronger
uh,
person because you learn from those mistakes, right? You learn that this is where it is. And my nani nana and my dadi dada both are like the most wonderful people who are more like my friends actually. Unfortunately my dada is no more, but they've taught me these life lessons कि बेटा बस काम करो, भाड़ में जाए जो भी हो रहा है दुनिया में,
hmm.
वर्क हार्ड एंड बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ, दैट्स व्हेन रियल मिरेकल्स हैपन. एंड ये एक
Uh,
फेमिनिस्ट एंगल भी है टू द स्टोरी दैट इट डजंट मैटर वेदर अ गर्ल और अ बॉय, just do
yeah.
what you want to do, you know. And I want to say this to girls and women especially, that there are phases where we question a lot of things कि नहीं यार ये मैं नहीं कर सकती, right? नहीं, this is a man's job or whatever, and we succumb to those pressures or those things as well. Some women don't, and that's why women like me are called too bold, too strong. ये तो क्वेश्चन करती है, ये तो जवाब देती है, like
Hmm.
that. But if you say that with grace and dignity,
Hmm.
I think there's nothing wrong. So just
Uh,
be fearless also. I think that's my only message for everybody, men, women, anybody, all genders, to be fearless and never give up hope. मतलब थोड़ा पॉजिटिव साइड भी देखना चाहिए हमें लाइफ का,
hmm.
सिर्फ एक वो डाउनफॉल से ऊपर आना चाहिए आपको 10 times, you should
Uh,
come out of it as a experience in life which makes you lead to the next step.
yeah.
Yeah. I hope it
It,
made sense to you. I don't know.
No, it really did, especially the part like, we need to believe in ourselves, and a lot of us just think that if it is going down, it will just keep going down. That's not it. It will go up, but what is needed is our motivation to do more,
Exactly.
be more, and have a goal in our life. Yeah,
Lastly, I'll say
that's.
something which is part of my larger advice, and I'll stop talking after that. Is that, especially in today's day and age, in the age of social media, it's easy to feel insecure, right? Your
Hmm.
best friend from school is, I don't know, the CEO of a company, got venture capital funding, this, that, और आपको लगता है मैंने क्या किया है, हम लोग, I've done nothing in life, like, and it's very easy in today's day and age to get that negative energy in your mind, right? To get influenced by these things, right? Personally and professionally, both. And so have I. I have also gone through that phase, and we all have. So I think you should never ever let that come to you.
Hmm.
You know, insecurity सबको होती हैं, हम सबको, we've all gone through bad phases, right? If you need help, go to a therapist, go for it, right?
Yeah.
But ये जो सोशल मीडिया पे आप देखते हो कि वाओ हम ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, घूम रहे हैं, फिर रहे हैं, पार्टी कर रहे हैं, दिस एंड दैट, या लिंक्डइन पे यू सी पीपल पोस्टिंग लाइक thousands of things about their achievements, which is great. Like, even I do that a couple of times, right? But a lot of it is a fake pretentious world that people are living in.
हाँ.
वो सच्चाई नहीं होती है सबकी, you know.
Funny thing is like a lot of people like they show these things, but even they have problems in their life. It's not like
Yeah,
they don't have any problems. Even they
absolutely.
have any problems. So just be yourself, because you are on a different chapter in your life, and everybody is on their different chapters. So let's just go and
And that
have.
won't be posted on social media, right? कोई
Yeah,
लिखेगा कि आज मेरा डिप्रेसिंग डे था? नहीं,
कोई नहीं
राइट?
लिखता है वो तो, हाँ।
या मेरी बेस्ट फ्रेंड की शादी हो गई, मुझे बुरा लग रहा है, मैं सिंगल मर जाऊंगी, वट एवर, एनीथिंग, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग, यू नो.
हाँ।
So yeah, that's honestly the only piece of advice or little words of wisdom that I can give based on my experience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, it was really great having you on this podcast, Miss Tarana, and I would like to thank you again for this, for joining me today. And I hope we can do a podcast, maybe some other day, maybe, hopefully,
sure.
let's see.
Yes,
So,
thank you so much for having me. I think
yeah,
it's
sure.
always nice to. This is my first video podcast ever, by the way. I've done an audio podcast before, so I was
Yeah.
excited to do this as well. Uh, and thank you so much. I'm glad that we spoke about some controversial topics also, which, I think are important to talk about at some point in time. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Jafar. Lovely speaking to you. And good luck for the podcast. I'm sure this will reach new heights.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rana. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Leap Journal. I really appreciated hearing Tarana's honest reactions and the impact of her work on the ground. Conversations like this remind us how much can be done when empathy meets action. If this episode resonated with you, consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with someone who might connect with it too. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.